Everything is personal right here. Everything is personal right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Everything is Personal. And today, I want to introduce our guest, Dr. Jacopo Iasiello. No? Did I get it close?
You are perfect,
Iasiello.
Iasiello, you're perfect, you're almost Italian.
Almost. Well, I'm from Philly, so we have there's a lot of Italians in Philly, and so it's close. Now, what part of Italy did you grow up in?
I am 100% Italian from Napoli. It means, sorry,
Yeah.
I live, 7 months in Miami, 3 months in 3-4 months in Italy, and 1 month in Dubai.
Okay, you live in Dubai as well?
Yes. I go to over there to take energy idea, and not only this, to do to business.
Interesting. So I wanted to ask you a question about, we were talking prior to the podcast starting about what's important, and, obviously building wealth is important. We all talk about, I live in LA, you live in Miami, and there's wealth, and we were talking about people moving out, and I was saying, people moving in and they're trying to save money. But, I look at wealth a little bit different. We have a lot of similarities. I used to be a commercial real estate broker. So I used to be a managing director for Keller Williams Commercial. So I just did the commercial part. So wealth to me at that point was, well, how many transactions can I do? I have it broken down. I'm going to close all this business. I'm going to help, these people get more wealth. But how do you define like true wealth beyond financial success?
Yeah, for me, like everything starting from the inside. What it means when you arrive, have wealthy, but you compromise your your psychologic mind, your body, technically you don't have nothing. For me, for this reason, I really applicate this in my life. What this means, I every day do some kind of technique where help me to build the part inside. And when I build my internal part automatically, I create the external part of abundance. And for me in particular, abundance means freedom. Freedom means for me the possibility to decide when I want, where I want to go in each minute of my life. I don't have any kind of the physical restriction, and help to give something good the people near me and my family, and after try to share my light, my possibility of abundance to other human beings,
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, but you sort of don't grow up with this. This is something that's learned over years, because my parents, I'm an immigrant also. So my parents instilled as an immigrant to me that, in order to be successful in America, we need to build wealth. So, when you're growing up in Naples, do you, are you have siblings, your parents? What are the values that they're instilling in you as you're growing up as a kid?
Yeah. Thanks God, beautiful question. Thanks God, I grew up in a really, really, really loving family. I have 2 angels, my mother and my father. They are alive. They support me from young age to now, and 2 grandfather. The big value in my family, first of all, will be, the base of everything is family, is where, I grew up with 2 beautiful grandfather, really what I have every time in my heart, in my pray, in my day, where, they support me from another part of the world. And the value of my family is something really important. I am, My father told me every time something important, whatever you have in mind, you possibly realize. The important part is to go to ethical business, to do something where you grow up, not only you, but try to give to other people. And this is I have in my mind. What this means after I um, grow up in the way where I am not necessarily staying, think about too much at, at the bill or other kind of problem. Now I have, my intention is my life is to growing, first of all, like human being, because the human being is the first part of our life. And after, to achieve more wealthy, not for the only my, to use only for myself, for my near family, but to try to share with more people is possible. This is my main goal to now when I will die. I hope so, long is possible to stay in this
Yeah,
life.
for sure. We hope that as well. I want to go back to growing up as a kid because I really have a belief that the values that we are instilled from childhood and the people that we are in those pivotal ages, it helps to, make us who we are. Sometimes in life, we forget that because we get busy. There's issues, there's relationships and all that stuff. But that is who we are at our core. So growing up, tell me about what kind of kid were you? Were you into sports? Were you into football? And who was the team that you were supporting? And are you into science, math? Give me a little bit of background on young
Yeah.
Jacopo.
When I grow, like I have this dream in my mind to becoming a professional soccer. And, from really, really young age, like 2, 3 years years old, I want to play with this, to soccer. And what's happening, my family bring me to, the football team where I coming from in Napoli, and I started over there. And at 13 years old, because I have some good characteristic like a player in the soccer, and I leave my city Napoli, and I go in different city in Italy to play professional soccer, juvenile professional soccer, and at 17 years old. I have my first pain point in my life where I have this big injury, where from one moment to another one, I need finish my career in soccer. And think about from really young age, I think about to becoming a professional soccer. I dream about professional soccer. I leave my family, my house, my city to go after this dream. And after 17 years old, I need to come back in a reality is not my reality. And from really, really young age, I remember like yesterday, I have two big passion. First of all, sport, in particular soccer, and another, I love from really young age to learn how people becoming successful in their life, not only necessarily in business, but too in the way how they touch other people's life. For example, I read a really young age book, like a big book, like the story of Madre Teresa, San Francisco, wherever, because I understand these people, they have something I want in some way, and two, the similarity with the people in the business in some way. They are super creative, and they don't see barrier in their life. They go after what they want, and they try in different way where they need to go to achieve what they want.
Yeah, I think it's powerful and having a good family around you. But when you have this dream of making it big and you have an injury, and it happens all the time, to people who are pursuing, sports as their career, you also, I think, had enough within yourself to say, okay, I'm going to transition. I'm going to do something else. and enough that you were studious. You had to go to school, like to get your degrees and doctorate. What was the motivation behind that?
What's happening is this one, after I finish my career in soccer, I need completely reinvent myself, because what's happening is this one, when you play soccer professional, to my school, I go to private school where, everything is not really hard, like if you go to public over there in Italy. What's happening is this one, I completely need to reinvent myself at 17 years and a half. And I have this kind of the idea that the only way to arrive at the next level in my life is to create something through business. But at the same time, my family, because I coming from professional families, means my mother is a teacher, my father is engineer, my grandfather is a doctor. They want I have my PhD. And when I finish my career, I need I do for many years study, and really early in the morning, when I have really big discipline in my life and I'm super resilient, where I wake up early, study, and after I go to my shop I open in Napoli in the jewelry business. And this one teach me the something really important in my life. Nothing is possible create if you don't have resilience, discipline, and working hard in what you want,
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I believe in that. So as you're growing up and you're going to school and you have your jewelry business, what prompted you to come to the United States?
Yeah, what's happening is this one. This is like the what's happening in my life. After this injury, I have this dream to create a business. And coming from my family, they don't have experience in business, but one side of my father family, they are super creative, a super big entrepreneur in Italy. What's happening is this one. I have this idea. And my family, they don't support the idea. In which way? They support me from the humanity part, but they don't want I suffer. And they told me, hey, why don't decide, you don't choose a normal life? Normal life supposedly is like, normal job, 9 to 5, you married, you take your PhD, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, I don't want this, because I don't want to be stuck in something where I don't create. And I take money from government Italy. I open this shop, and after 3-4 months, I go sleep in the shop, because I make big mistake. I learn something first of all in business, location, location, location. And what's up? I go to my father and I tell, hey, I don't want to go to the house because I feel hurt at that time. Please lend me 8,000 euro, and I want put this shop in another place, because I know I have clarity. This business will go really good. What's happening from over there? I open more than 20 shop in Italy. The business becoming really a multimillionaire business. And at 22 years old, after 3 years I started to make money on the side, and I started to buy property in auction in Italy. And 28 is the moment where I coming in Florida, because what's happening, around 28 years old, I starting to see, I research every day. I have the clock in my day where I spend I do this kind of thing today, like almost 30-45 minutes to find new business, new opportunity. And because I am really passionate about real estate, because Robert Kiyosaki opened my mind with the book, the book of Robert Kiyosaki, the most important. What's happening? I started to research, and I see something really beautiful. I see in Florida, in particular in Miami, I see the drop of the property, and I see Zillow. The first time I see Zillow, wow! I tell, what's happening over there? And I decide alone, without speaking English and nothing, to I have my business, my family, at that time my fiance in Italy, everything over there, to take one flight coming over here in Miami and understand what's happening over here. And from over there, I do more than 350 flipping. I create my cash flow portfolio. And, now I try to give more time and energy to my family. For this reason, I go back, for, 3 months to spend time with them where we traveling and we enjoy.
I mean, it's very inspirational, but it sounds easy, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, and especially you have a jewelry business, and there's a lot of different jewelry businesses. You have to differentiate yourself, and you have to make yourself unique. And you're going to school, and you're getting a PhD, and you can tell people, what the PhD is in if you want. But there's so much work and effort that goes into it. I just want people to understand that it's not just easy. Yes, you have to be passionate. You have to set your mind to it. You have to have discipline and resilience in order to do it. But it's not easy because everybody would do it if it was, right?
Yeah, it means like, for me, for example, I remember like, yes, I do 46 exam in business management, what I take my PhD.
Yeah.
And really hard because normally I wake up, 5:30 in the morning. I study until 7:30 and I drive to my shop to open the shop because initially I am in the shop. I am the only man. And normally, all my process of growing like a businessman, like human being, I have a different pain point in my life. And I realized through this kind of pain point, like something really important to try to focalize in myself, because if I don't push up really, I don't level up myself, I don't possible help other people. And this really lesson I learned when I'm moving in Florida, because I remember like yesterday, I have all my family, everybody over there, and my mother too at this moment, now she, after many years, she realized, I lived for many years here from 2011 in United States. But she don't understand, like my ex-fiancé, she don't understand why I need to do this kind of thing to go to Florida, to go through this process really painful, because I need to learn English, I don't speak English, I need to learn Spanish because in Miami everybody speaks Spanish. I need to understand how is working the real estate, how is working the process. Two, if in reality I don't need to do all this process because I already at 28 years old in Italy, I create this business, okay, lose revenue, but I possible live really comfortable in my country, but I don't feel any more the energy correctly in Italy. I don't feel any more the opportunity. I want to find this opportunity in the United States, but nothing is easy, because if, like how you explain, if will be easy, everybody will do. In reality, everybody is possible doing, but they need to go through fear. They need to go through day where you cry. They need to go through morning where you cry, and where you need to do think about how to solve problem, because who resolve problem becoming probably happy, probably wealthy, probably rich, not only from the money part but too from the inside part, because if we don't suffer, in reality we don't see the other sides of the coin.
Yeah, 100%. You're always the brightest moment is right before the darkest moment ends. So yeah, I completely agree with you. And I do think there's something to be said about the immigrant mentality, because you have to, even just doing that is suffering enough. So what motivated to write, I want to make sure I got the book name right, Healthy, Rich, and Happy, right? What motivated to write that?
Yeah, the motivation because I wrote this book is only one: give to other people. And I will decodify better what it means give. It means when you receive something in your life, something important, where you are in the most darkness point of your life, where, I remember like yesterday, I sleep on the floor and I don't have any kind of shame to share with everybody because I don't know how connect FPL light because I people from the other part of the phone they don't understand my accent, and it really this is life. This is what's happening, and for this kind of motivation, at one point of my life, I started to research because how we spoke before, when you have the pain, you started to see where you need, how you possible calm this pain, how you possible find a way. And I have one, my friend, in Italy, he is really every time full of energy. And I asked which kind of technique he used. And he told me about this meditation. From over there, I starting to meditate, and this book is coming from four pillars so important: meditation, pray, biohacking, and exercise. And I feel really important to build the wealthy outside, but before to build the wealthy, you need to build your happiness inside. And this book is specific for this, where in a first part I speak about this, and the second part about real estate. But the motivation why? Because when you receive something, wherever you believe, God, Allah, divine, whatever, Buddha, I need to share with other human being because I know what I learned through my process of my life is possible give light to other people, in particular the young generation.
So let's talk about those principles and break them down, because I think it's really important that people understand they have their own definition of what wealth is. And my parents always said, well, health is wealth. Yes. And I always kind of thought about it, well, you know, you can make a plan to have abundance, as you were mentioning. You have real estate, you have money, you have a nice house, you have a nice car, all that stuff. And you want more, and then and then you said giving back to people. But when you're sick, there's only one thought in your mind is how to get better. So if you're all that doesn't matter, your cars, your house, it doesn't matter. You just want to feel good. So when you're creating these principles, and I completely agree with you, maybe you can kind of break down each one and sort of give your schedule and how somebody can go follow those principles, starting from meditation, even the type of meditation, or does it matter? Any kind of meditation works.
Yes, first of all, I am completely agree with you. What it means when you don't have health, like your family tell you, you don't have nothing. This is reality. For this reason, I try. We never know because we don't have the control of what somebody more innate of us decide. But I try to use my body, my mind to my action every day to don't receive some kind healthy problem. Normally we don't possible. I do all the check, but we never know. Okay, quindi I am agree 100% with you. Now, for the part about the four pillar of the method I assemble it, I don't create, I assemble it because everything is outside. I do, first of all, I wake up really, really, really early in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, because what's happening, a lot of people, they don't understand how is working their body, and they do at the wrong time the wrong action. And I want to share with you what this means. For example, I am super creative around 5:30 in the morning to 9, And in this moment, I have all my creativity, all my energy, all everything. And I use this time to create. And after I use the day, I use, my mind to other kind of thing. And meditation transcendental is what I do, help me when I wake up really early in the morning at 4:30 to set up the mind, to go, down, to close the eyes and feel what I have inside, and, becoming only, no anymore my body. I becoming, something more spiritually. And what's happening in this kind of the meditation, what I do is this. I repeat the mantra, but not only repeat the mantra. Before I sleep, I starting my meditation, I put something in my mind. For example, I have one my goal, and for the day, I put in my mind. That's it. I tell, okay, I want to do this today because I already wrote the day before. What's happening automatically in my meditation, because when you transcend, your mind is no anymore, don't have color, don't have nothing. I receive some input to resolve problem, to go at the next level in the business, to have some kind of idea on everything. It's something beautiful. And the meditation is something help me in my life. And I will suggest to everybody from, really, really young age, because give the peace we want, because money is only something because we want to love, and love is the most thing we want.
I agree.
And this is reality,
And
the
you do TM twice a day?
Yes, I do TM twice a day. I do the fly too, because I am Siddha. Is a next step of the first basic meditation course. And I do 2 times a day, early in the morning and around 2:30 p.m., because at that time my energy go down and I need a boost for my day. And really, 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 I am really grateful for Domenico, the guy give me this information, and for the, for this technique, and helping me a lot. This is the first part of my pillar. The second part is so important too, is the pray. And I will share with you what does it mean for me for pray. I coming from Catholic family with this beautiful grandmother and grandfather, where they told, bring me to the church every Sunday. My grandmother, I remember like yesterday, beautiful lady, she pray every day. But I never find until, probably some year ago, the really important of the pray. And now I will define what's happening for me. I do pray activation. What this means is something a little bit different. I have one app in my phone. It's called Pray to Go, where I listening every day in the morning in my ear to understand, uh, the word of God in this case. But I believe in something more big, where we are under one umbrella, and you wanna call God, somebody call Allah, somebody call Buddha, whatever they wanna call. But I believe in the one divine. And what's happening, I pray with my intention to open this connection with the divine. And this is so important, because we forgot when we are super, super young, or when we are super busy, we forgot that the most important part we have in our life, energy, and the divine is connection with energy. What's happening, I do this pre-activation where I put myself to pray to bless, first of all, the people I love, the people, my friend, the people, some people touch my life during the day. And after I go specific to the divine to ask something clear for the day. What this means, I tell him what I want for the day, because I believe in two things. First of all, give, and second of all, ask. What this means, I am the guy, I am a giver, but now I learn to how ask. Because the two things is really important for wherever you do in your life. If you are in business, or if you are in in normal job to normal job, and I ask to really important to help me in the process of my day, and I visualize what I want really clear, my face, my action, everything. And this help me not only to clarify my mind, clarify with the divine, but to visualize and have less fear during this action through my day.
Uh, just one question on that as well, and we'll get into the next two principles, the biohacking, etc. How important is gratitude as part of your give and then ask?
Super important. I have my journey is the first thing I do in my day after my meditation when I am in the alpha state, and after I do my biohacking, use my biohacking device. I put in the journey 4 questions really important for me.
Mhm.
First of all, for what I am grateful, and I find small thing I have the day before, quindi really tangible. For example, the wind in my face, really, or the beautiful sunset I see from my property, or when I love to stay near the water. When I go to the water, completely clean myself. And small thing. My parents, they are in life. They are in good shape. And this is the first question I respond. The second one I ask, and every day I do, is for what I am passionate. And I write over there for what I passionate. The third one, for what I have joy, what give me joy. What this means, for example, I love to go in the water. I love to play soccer. I love to smile. I love to play with my nephew. And this kind of thing is the joy. And quindi I understand really clear what is giving me joy, some kind of action external, okay? And the fourth one is really important, is really powerful. The what is giving me serenity, which kind of word or phrase give me serenity. And I find this word, this phrase give me serenity. I am in the most, I am in the perfect moment, in the perfect minute, in the perfect second, in the perfect time of my life. Everything is perfect. Everything is in the direction of what I want. And I write every day because bring my tension, my anxious really down. And after this, I wrote my first emotion when I wake up. Sometimes I feel anxious, sometimes I feel nervous, sometimes I feel happy, sometimes I feel not motivated. But after I do my process, everything becoming light, becoming beautiful, becoming, not anymore dark.
Are you in a relationship now? You were saying something.
Yes, I am.
So
I am.
I just want to remind you, because when you were talking about joy, you're also you're joyful about your relationship, just in case the person that you're in a relationship with is listening.
I am, super joyful in this relationship, because what's happening, I create to this relationship every day. What this means, I try to understand a relationship is the most difficult thing in our life. to relationship with our parents, with friends, and imagine with somebody live every day with you. Quindi if you don't cultivate, if you don't put something where she understand that you have really love, care to her, will never. It's like a plant. When you have a plant, you need put water every day, every day, every day, every day. It's the same thing in relationship. If you forget about relationship, you don't have any more happiness relationship. For this reason, I feel satisfied like human being because I have all this point in my life blessing because I receive, but at the same time I working every day in this.
It's a really good point. Just to unpack it a little bit and see how you feel about this. In order to have a good relationship with other people, I think you need to have a good relationship with yourself first. And a lot of the work that you're doing is self work. In order for you to be good with self, now you can relate in that frequency with other people. So do you think that a lot of this, and you were talking about manifestation and everything else, a lot of the work that you're doing for self actually is helping you to attract the people, the business opportunities, all those things in your life?
Completely, is the base to create the external part. What I think is this: if you don't take care, to your mind, your spiritually, your emotional, your body, how you possible go after something? Because if when you are in the chaos, a lot of people, they are in chaos because they don't have clarity. The clarity where is coming from when you put yourself in the place to if you have a problem, because everybody have no, I don't tell the word problem, but I tell the word something to resolve, because I try to use two words where it's not too heavy, where in my subconscious, but every day is a process to working on myself every day, and normally I see to the difference. If I am really, first of all, persistent, resilient, and I have method every day. But for example, if someday, for some kind of reason, really difficult, I'm really like in this are really strict. Don't do something of this pillar, I feel something is missing because I don't have the same energy, the same power. This method for me is something unique and really important. And self-care is the first base to have any kind of success, emotionally, spiritually, and in the business.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Tell me about biohacking. What is it? Because we throw this term around so much, especially now. Oh, you're a biohacker. What does that mean for you?
Biohacking is really try to use food, supplement, exercise, and device to elevate yourself, to stay in better place, to have more energy, to have more possibility to impact other people's life. For example, in particular, I use some kind of device, but I want to specify really important. The device is something where tomorrow, if I don't have in my life, I don't need it because I already have the base. The base is the meditation and the prayer. And this means I am freedom to go in the other part of the world without nothing of this device, but I have these two pillars giving me already serenity, okay? Quindi this is important because a lot of people, they becoming too attached to this device on everything, and it's not really good. Quindi this is one point I want to share. But what's happening, I use in the biohacking, first of all, I have diet for my everyday, which means, I understand with a professional nutritionist, how it's working my body to feed my body in the correct way to have more energy, more power, more clarity. I use supplement, but no supplement like this. I do specific test for my body where I take every day specific supplement for my body because we are completely different. Every human being is different. This is part of the biohacking. And another thing really important, I use different device like red light, really important to wake up your eyes, your energy, everything in the morning. And after I meditate, I empower the meditation. How I empower this meditation? Because after I meditate, I use this device called Brain Tap. I don't have any kind of interest in this company, but I love to share because it's really powerful device where I use and I reprogram my mind through sound, through the light, and each sound, each sound is specific of something. For example, Sunday I use for the business, Sunday I use for healthcare, Sunday I use for spiritually, and this device help me to reprogram my mind after the meditation to have more clarity for the day. The biohacking technically is a different action you do to your day to elevate yourself and to, for example, my house now where I live. I choose this property many years ago because I love to stay near the water, and the water gives me serenity, peace. And I use, for example, the place where I sleep with some kind of technique where I bring really cold my room because I understand the importance in particular for me to sleep in the cold because when you are cold your body go cold and technically you sleep better. This is working for me. This is means biohacking, different kind of piece to use in your day, from food to supplement to device to how utilize to your property.
Yeah. So what's the last pillar?
The last pillar is the really important pillars, the exercise. For example, for me is a must from really when I am super young. I grow up in sport and I know sport give me, the strength, the energy, the power I need. And, I, in this book, I specify this pillar in particular, I try and I go really deeply to explain how is working this pillar, like to the exercise. I use specific exercise where I take this information from university. I try really to share not my thought, but I study from really big doctor how is working this four pillar and everything in this book, and in particular in exercise. To a lot of people they make big mistake. What's happening, for example, a lot of people they running. I love to run, but two is important to understand that for each based on the age, based on your characteristic of your body, you need to do some kind of exercise. And over there, I explain this in the book. I explain this kind of exercise, what I do. Normally, everybody we are different, and everybody we need choose the correct exercise to have more energy and more body. But we have some base really important. When we do exercise, we use oxygen, and the oxygen automatically bring in the mind, in the body, being clarity and energy.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And you said, I mean, the name of my podcast is Everything is Personal. So it's all about, personal. There's two things that you said that I want to kind of go back to. The first one, you said, you wake up early in the morning, 4:30. This is, that you're creative during this time. I think it's also very important to be self-aware. And what I see, especially in this biohacking, is people follow the footsteps of somebody else.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. If you're going to follow what Ben Greenfield is doing for Ben Greenfield, that's for Ben Greenfield. He knows himself. He did. And for those of you who don't know, Google Ben. He's a well-known biohacker. I know for myself, I don't function very well very early in the morning. It's just not my primary time. I'm very, very self-aware that, starting 10 a.m., I am on. And I tell people, if I'm invited to speak at a conference, if you're going to put me as the first speaker of the day, you're going to get 50% of me. You're not going to get the 100% where I'm at my optimal best. So how important and what do you have to do? And you already talked about, doing a personal test, like my company does genetic testing, for instance.
Wow.
So understanding yourself, how important is that? And what are some things you can do to sort of learn and go into those areas where you have strengths?
Beautiful. It means like I'm 100% agree with you. What it means, this method I assembled, we will work probably for some kind of people, but not for other. And I will explain really in the detail. For example, I have my beautiful father. He don't need meditation. That's it. This is reality. What's happening? He need when he's out, he need only one thing, and to go near the water, see the water, and it's unbelievable what's happening in his mind. I will love to study his mind.
Yeah.
It changed completely his prospect, his energy and everything. Now, why I share with you this? Because now in this world we have everybody they are guru in something, and in reality you are the own guru of yourself. This is reality. That's it. It's no other way, because we are similar, because we go through the same emotion, pain, cry, happiness, or whatever, but we are genetic, and from the our mind, how it's working, completely different. What I will share with your audience, really important. Try to use different time, for example, to wake up and understand how is working your body. For example, starting do for 1 week at 4:30 in the morning, 5, 6, wherever. Try different time and see how is better working for you. How is the best process? Do understand something with your body. Try to understand how it's working when you use sugar. For example, I use less sugar is possible, because I know in particular when I use sugar after 3 p.m., I already energetic. What's happening? The sugar bring me more energetic for 1 hour, and after I have the big down. Try to use caffeine to understand when it's working for you, the better time is working for you, or whatever, based on the time you go to sleep. It means all this method I explain in this book is something important to take information, but you be your own guru when you try this kind the thing for yourself in different time, in different way, to understand how is really working your body. This is, I think, so the best suggest I possible give, because two happening in my life. When before, many years ago, I don't wake up really early, and I am okay, but I don't feel really energized. I don't understand what's happening in my body. When I started to do this kind of technique, I really see the speed in the external part. And this is important, I want to share. When you try, you understand, try for, not only 1 week, try for more, try for a month to understand, to adapt at this kind of condition. And you will see, try the food. Now you have some, different kind, the company, they do the searching for you for the food. For example, I use one beautiful company. I don't have any interest, is Biomeo, is the name, where they do the test for your food. When what's happening, which kind of food is working for you, the superfood, the food give you problem, and based on this, use this kind of food and see, because not every time the test is correctly if it's working for you or not, this kind of food. And based on this, you will know really well yourself, and you will have more energy to go in direction to what you want, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Microbiome testing is extremely important. Genetic testing, epigenetic testing. You have to know, once again, be self-aware. But still having said that, your pillars are the right pillars, except that there may be a little bit of room within each one of those pillars specific for the individual. So you go through the pillars, but within that, wake up early, meditate. Maybe TM isn't for everyone. For me, TM is the best because I tried so many more. Every once in a while, I'll do a Joe Dispenza meditation until his voice starts irritating me a little bit, and I have to turn off. But I change it up. So but the parameters that you set forth are the right ones, and I'm just saying exactly what you're saying is within those parameters, find your sweet spot, what works for you, and also be really careful because diet. What you put in your body is really important. And like, if you're going to give up meat, like I haven't eaten meat in 15 years, but I eat fish. But if I did my test results and I saw that I'm prone to low iron levels and I'm going to go give up meat, well, without knowing that, now I'm actually at a deficit because I'm not getting enough iron in my diet. So I have to subsidize and supplement for that, as you were saying. It's very important, the pillars, and then define what your niche is within those specific pillars. I want to ask you one more question on that about plant medicine. What are your thoughts on plant medicine? Is that something that you implement within your lifestyle, or how do you feel about that?
Honestly, until now, I don't, use this kind of thing. Quindi I don't possible have any kind of thought about this, but it's something where where I want to study to understand to this part, but in this moment is not part of my process,
All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions that I ask my guests. They're music related, nothing to do with the stuff that we talked about, but I'm just curious. Do you remember, and if so, what was the very first concert that you attended?
I attend one concert in Italy of one, Napolitan singer, the name of Gigi D'Alessio.
Okay. What kind of, is it pop, rock kind of music?
It is, almost, is in Napoli, where I coming from, in Italy, exists, we are famous for song loving music. It's something where, really almost romantic, but, with the a little bit of pop,
Love it. Yeah. Love songs, man. It's great. Well, what was the last concert that you attended?
Wow, the last concert I attend.
Yeah, I mean, you're waking up at 4:30 in the morning, so I'm sure you're not going to a lot of late concerts, but you're
No, not late, not late. Honestly, I probably, the last concert in Italy, I remember the last one will be, rock music, like Italian rock music, Vasco Rossi, but
Okay.
many year ago.
Okay. All right. So for the next year, you have to listen to 5 albums, only 5. Now, you don't have to remember the name of the actual album. It can be like, Pink Floyd. I'll just say something. Like, what will be those 5 albums that you will listen to? 5 artists.
I love classic Mozart. Okay. I like chill music. We need chill music.
Yeah.
I like, rock music when I do exercise. I like Napolitan music when I want to go back to my city and feel the energy of my people. And the 5, I will tell, I love to some country music over here in America.
Okay, got it. Um, so final question that I ask all my guests, please describe what your room looked like when you were growing up.
Okay, my room I remember like yesterday is he have the bed is a um, brown bed, and I have all my mother put every time where I sleep, the face of people I love. What this means, I have in my room my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, them, everybody. And I have the poster of people play professional soccer, in particular one touch really my life. The name is not anymore in this world, but the name is Diego Maradona because he play in
Of
Napoli.
course, everybody knows Diego Maradona.
Yeah. And it means really touch my heart, and I have the poster of him because I'm really fanatic of this unbelievable soccer player.
That's beautiful. Uh, where can people find out more about you, engage with you? Where can they get your book? Whatever else you want to share.
Yeah, like my book is possible find in pre-order to www.healthyrichandhappy, and really I will love to help me in the process to sell more books possible because I will give the money for one association. Because this is my intention, and this book will add, and I am sure 100% value to the people they listening this podcast. And another place where they possible find me in Instagram through Jacopo Iasiello Investor Broker, where I try to share, good thing, beautiful images of where I travel, some idea about real estate. Try to share. For me, it's really important. Try with some kind of small message or big message to touch other people life. This is for me important.
And Jacopo, if people want to engage for real estate, you work with do they go to your website or should they go?
Yeah, I have like I explain I am investor, and I have broker license too. What this means, the majority of my client they are people they want somebody they suggest them not only a property but a investment. And because my specialty in the investment, I'm specializing in flipping and in cash flow portfolio. From the broker, like investor, for the broker sides, I'm more working with luxury property, but at the same time, I suggest client the correct investment because I believe really in something important. When you do something professional, because I don't need anymore to try to take something from you, I will really coming with my open heart to suggest the best for you. And I have my website, www.jacopoiasiello.com, where, they possible contact me and somewhere of my team, somebody on my team, they respond.
Love that. And for my audience, I want to thank you all for listening, staying with us. I hope you received a lot of valuable information. I know I did. Thank you for all the reviews. I am so grateful for the engagement and the reviews and the feedback that I've been getting. It's even the ones that aren't 5 stars, bring in because it's all a learning experience. So I really appreciate it. And thank you for buying the book. And Jacopo, I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a really, really good interview, great information. And I love your approach to life in terms of you take to give, you give to take, and this energy that you're putting in the world is a beautiful thing. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you to invite me. Yeah?
Got it. Hey everyone, thank you for watching and listening. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this episode, and hit that bell. Like, comment. I so appreciate that. And check me out on social under Len May or Len May DNA. Find out more on LinkedIn or lenmaycoaching.com. And remember, everything is personal.